The Rotax Max Challenge continues to go from strength to strength after nearly 3 decades of competition around the world. After the season-opening Winter Cup at Campillos in the south of Spain, we've arrived at the north of Italy for the first round of the European title. This is the magnificent Cremona circuit, where more than 200 drivers from 40 nations around the world are ready to fight for the European Championship. So settle in as we bring you all today's action, starting with the youngest drivers racing here this weekend, and that's Mini Max. Girls have got the umbrellas up, and it's not just for looks, because we've got a few drops of rain starting to fall very lightly here at Cremona. Somewhat concerningly for our
Mini-Max for the Italian Cup will put foot to the floor, the lights on the gantry go out, and we'll go racing in some testing conditions towards turn number 1, and the space opens up for Josh Cooke, who goes straight to the inside, but the outside favours Austin Oman. Joshua Cooke tries to brave it in the end, emerges in third. Nick Klinker's down his inside through turns 3 and 4 again. Cold track, slick track. Austin Oman guessing every single corner going through there as well. You've got the likes of James Roots, who's worked his way up in a second in the 1-2-3. Dan Holland Racing to the inside of the chicane, finds the space, takes the track away from Austin Oman. Drag race between the two as they're argy-bargy towards the pit lane hairpin. Joshua Cooke takes the inside. Austin Oman tries to sweep his way the long way round. That's not quite worked out for him. Joshua Cooke goes for the lead into the final sector, side by side with James Roots, and Joshua Cooke has found his way through up into the lead of the race for the 175.
It's Cooke, Aman, Klinkers, Roots goes by Raikkonen, then it's Paige, Kenny, Murphy. Good start from Mario Roberto. She's moved up inside the top 10 in position 9, just ahead of Hubbets, Jackson Hilton, and Logan Rolfe down into P12. And it's Cooke just ahead, Austin in front from Mick Klinkers. A ferociously frantic start as Mick goes down the inside. Cooke follows him on through. Roots is there as well. Raikkonen stares back over the shoulder, but it's Mick Klinkers in the Energy Corsa who goes P1.
Joshua Cooke able to hang on versus the Hunter Motorsport 148, up onto 2 wheels, popping a wheelie goes Oscar Kenny, and off the road there after running into the back of Joshua Cooke. We complete the 4th lap and head on to the 5th. It's Mick Klinkers from Austin Oman and James Roots currently the top 3.
And it's Roots, Cooke, Raikkonen down the inside. Robin races on by.
European Cups in Minimax. Inside line opens up for Mick Klinkers. The 105 goes to the inside. The switchback opens up for Austin Oman, who gets the drive, gets the acceleration.
Klinkers down the inside. Drives on through to go back into the top spot. Here comes James. They crash. They touch. They're out. James goes on through. Roots takes the lead for Dan Holland Racing. Austin Oman is about to retire. On the final lap of the race, Raikkonen off into the grass. James about to come around the final corner. 1, 2, 3 for Dan Holland Racing. The checkered flag will wave. What a sensational finish. James Roots takes victory at Cremona in the Rotax Max Challenge Italian Cup. Cooke home in second and Logan Rolfe on the podium in third. Emerson Max starts on pole position, the fourth generation racer. Dan Holland Racing at 231. There is Emerson to the left of your screen. Marcel Popacol, the pole to the right, 36 junior drivers on the grid. Emerson on pole, we race. Marcel Popacol has missed the start badly. Kai Clark goes racing down the inside. KC from grid 3 for Strawberry Racing takes the race lead as the field come out of turn 5 for the first time. Emerson back to second. Looking also for Zdenek Babicek. There's the check in 271, also for Dan Holland Racing. The team based at the Wilton Mills circuit, where the first round of the Ultimate Car Championship gets underway in a few weeks' time. But it's Strawberry Racing, their fierce rival, Kai Clark, who's gone through to lead across the line for the first time. A move for second place, Raresh Pashkul goes through and takes his teammate Emerson. Back to third, Jack Collinson, Ward, Babicek, Popacol. Marcel from grid 2 ahead of Jensen Chalk. But the pole back in 7th place.
Pashku looks over his shoulder. He sees that he's got some space. He goes to the inside, takes the lead of the race. Kai Clark tries to get back underneath him. Forced off the road there is Pashku. Kai Clark gets his elbows out. And now bunching the field back up again. Emerson McCann-Duren gets onto the back of his teammate, sees the door open to the inside of turn number 12. McCann-Duren will take second place. Meanwhile, Kai Clark once again stretching an advantage. Zdenek Babicek gets in. It's civil war down at Dan Holland Racing.
How fortunate was Raresh Pashkul? Emerson McCann-Duren back to Jack Collinson.
Well, 6 to go at the line. Kai Clark dealing with this race very well indeed. I think we are getting some more spits of rain out on circuit though, because the dark clouds, well, loom ominously overhead here at Cremona. Slight little look there from Pashku to the inside of Zdenek Babicek. Grip is starting to fall. Jack Collinson getting involved. And Kai Clark's advantage once again swings back in his favour as the gap grows to 8 tenths of a second. Well, before the full course yellow was thrown, that was your opportunity to stay on the circuit, a small battle of attrition, if you will. Stay on the circuit, gain some places, and now reap the rewards because of it. There's no overtaking under this full course yellow. Of course, the sun shining to some extent, and probably a very telling sentiment to the day. The duality that we've had here at Cremona, either pouring the rain.
Clark with the race lead. The rain easing off, and there's the red flag. That's the ball game, folks. Kai Clark takes victory. The red flag flies. Frustration from Zdenek, who comes home P2. They drive into pit lane. The whistle blows short of the full 90. That stumps. Kai Clark has won as the red flag flies. On lap 12 of the Rotax Junior Final, we have passed 75%. KSB Racing is on the slick tyre, and right behind Nik Trobec, KSB Racing has mounted the Mojo Wets. He's not the only one. We believe there's a few drivers further back who have elected to start on the wet tyre. The majority are on the slick, and once again it starts to rain here at Cremona. The rain falling lightly. There's no standing water on the circuit for the moment. It is dark here at Cremona. Nik Trobec. Well, the KSB Austria team, have they just bought a winning lottery ticket, so to speak?
Scott Marsh, Lewis Gilbert, the front row, changeable conditions, decisions left, right and centre. Who's made the right one as the lights go out and we go racing towards turn number 1, guessing the grip conditions, and while coming true there, the wet tyres straight through into the race lead. Nik Trobec, Scott Marsh of course running a little bit wide. They're skating through on the slick tyres, full of confidence are the wets. Now as they, well, negotiate their way very slowly, tiptoeing round the opening sector, a big gaggle of karts through the first few corners. Nik Trobec laughing in everyone's faces here at Cremona. He's sailing off into the distance while the rest of them barely able to get the power down to the tarmac. Down in towards the pit lane hairpin, desperately trying to get some temperature into the tyres. Scott Marsh guessing where the grip is going to be. Armfuls of lock either way, using the brakes to rotate the car. Lewis Gilbert just about able to get the drive.
Nik Trobec does now the Slovenian. He is dominating. It looks as though he's not even on your screen. It looks as though he's made the right choice. 6 seconds clear of Lewis Gilbert, Max Zadursky. Skuins, Yuri from grid 36 has passed 24 karts on the first lap. Tobias Norman just behind. He's into P13. Is Nik Trobec. Wow, it's a 109 standing lap. Remember, that crossover point is around about 61 seconds, so the rain has eased up. Trobec, 6.2 seconds clear of Tobias Norman. Jack West, MLC Motorsport, the Brit behind the Dane, the Slovenian leads. Going down the inside of the SP Motorsport driver, Max Zadursky. Frustrating is not the right word for the young Dutchman, indeed, for 30 drivers in the field.
Testing weather conditions, those on the slicks. I mean, a valiant effort from each of them, particularly Will Archer, 25 positions gained. Austin Lee up to P5 on the slicks as well. But one man will take the crown for the opening round of the Rotax Max Challenge Euro Trophy in 2026. Nik Trobec prevails in changeable conditions. He adapts the best, and a valiant effort from the Slovenian to take victory in Senior Max. He brings it home for KSB Racing.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Cremona circuit in the north of Italy. This is round 1 of 4 of the 2026 Rotax Max Challenge Euro Trophy. The DD2 drivers on the grid. The 3-minute board goes up. The first of our 4 finals here this afternoon. For the first time in 2026, in the Euro Trophy, we race. Perfect start from Rosina from pole position. Came across the line at 91 kilometers an hour with a perfect launch. Jakobezzel P2.
Over the duration of the 14-lap race that we had earlier on today, no more than that as Jakobezzel makes a mistake through the penultimate corner. That is going to allow Leo Baccalini to draw alongside. Now, this is probably going to open the gap up quite tremendously to Marco Rosina. Down the inside goes the Shepherd's Racing machine. Baccalini goes through and up in a second. But like I was saying, the gap was no more than 0.7 of a second. Rosina dealt with that pressure brilliantly. Jakobezzel, though, the first one to flinch, and that's opened the door for Baccalini to go through and take second place.
Nicolas Picot P10 and the first Masters driver.
And a send to the inside there, very nicely done.
A big 2026, he looks to start with a victory. He's got a gap, although it's coming down as William Norbert goes through. 0.7 of a second separates Rosina from Leo Baccalini. Rosina slides into turn 10. This is Barbaro on the back of Hugo. Waits as we go into the second half of the race. Now gets the drive up the inside, smashes over the ripple strip, loses the momentum, and Hugo Dupont holds on to P6 at the moment. Rosina flashes across the line at 123.8 kilometers an hour. Michael Rosina glances back over his shoulder. Leo does likewise. Into the pit hairpin, 2 laps to race next time. Tony Kart versus Kart Republic.
Marco Rosina will take first blood in 2026, the Rotax Max Challenge Euro Trophy. Round number 1 here at Cremona. Marco Rosina, it's clinical. He takes victory. The Italian on home soil, Leo Baccalini and Jakobezzel will join him on the podium.
Nicolas Picot wins Masters again, coming home P9 outright. And Ragnar Bieda second in the Masters category. Timo Nota Francesco. And also from the back of the grid, Miro Sfagusta. A fabulous start to the championship in changing weather here at Cremona. From here we go to beautiful Bavaria and the Wackersdorf Pro Kart Raceland in Germany for round 2 of the series on the first weekend of May. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.